We must be willing, not just as elected officials or law enforcement leaders, but we must be willing as a community to have meaningful conversations, dialogues, debates, and ultimately decisions on how do we move forward. Can Sacramento County, the city of Sacramento, the county of Sacramento, can we be a model for moving forward? And in my opinion, the answer is clear, absolutely. But that means that we must work together as a community. We have to be willing to developing this model, that we have to be willing to acknowledge, as I have said for long periods of time, that there is an opportunity gap. There is an opportunity gap in our community. We must acknowledge that. 2 weeks ago, I sat at City Council meeting. I sat there and I listened, and I heard people say, I heard it in anger, I heard it in grief, and I heard the words like poverty, economic disparity, education, housing. All of those were raised because those are valid points. We have to be willing to acknowledge that opportunity gap as a community. As a DA's office, oftentimes people say, what are you doing? What are you doing to help us with that gap? Most people think a DA's office is just typically reactionary. The police arrest somebody, they send the case to us, we decide if we're going to prosecute, we go to court and we prosecute them. But for a long period of time now, I've had the opinion, and this office has moved in the direction that we have a greater obligation to help close that opportunity gap. Because if we can, in fact, help narrow that gap, that those opportunities are greater for individuals, that they're going to have a healthier, happier, more successful life, and ultimately, we're going to be a safer community. So when we have things in our office that are non-traditional, like a partnership with Reading Partners, or going into schools to try to get kids back in school, or having youth academies, those are because that's what's right to do for this community and to move us forward.